Hey everybody, Motumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more historic here on Magic Arena. And let me start off by saying happy, merry Decktember to everybody watching. If you're not aware, not familiar, it is now December. So here on the channel during the month of December, we like to do what I call Decktember, where I play only viewer submitted decks, and we play a few games with your deck, then we look at it, maybe make a few changes, and then we play a few more games with my version of the deck, and we just see what happens. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of brainstorming. We get to see combos that maybe you all are thinking about, and then my take on those things, and maybe we can get an improvement. Maybe I mess up your deck completely, but either way, it's a lot of fun, and it's my way of saying thank you for all of the views and all the subscribers, everybody who's been here. So again, real quick, if you want to be a part of Decktember, there's still time. All you have to do is be a subscriber, join the Discord, link is down below, and submit your deck in the Decktember channel. So with that being said, let's just hop right into today's deck. And we are playing Rise and Shine. So this deck was submitted to us by CaptainCrazy, and this deck looked cool. When this deck popped up in the generator, I was actually super happy to see this particular list because this is pretty cool deck. So for anybody not familiar with the card Rise and Shine, it was introduced in the Modern Horizons Jumpstart / whatever you want to call it. This is a 2-mana sorcery. It says target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 0/0 artifact creature. Put 4 1/1 counters on it. And then anything that gets these counters this turn becomes a creature. So it also has Overload for 6 mana. So for Overload, if you're not familiar with it, it actually will target everything that's available to target. So it basically adds the word each to it. So it would turn all of our non-creature artifacts into 4/4 creatures. And then we can just kill them all in one go. So with this deck, looks like we are trying to put as many artifacts into play as we can at once. Or not at once, but over the course of a few turns, and then we are going to cast a Rise and Shine with Overload, and we're just going to swing in for who knows how much, 20, 40, 60, some unheard of number, not really, but we're going to try to swing in for a lot of damage. Really excited to play this deck. It's playing a base artifact colorless shell, which is typically super powerful anyway, because again, with historic, you really want to be ramping and just doing stuff really fast, and the colorless shell really gives us the opportunity to do that. So let's go through these. Let's go through this list, and let's talk about each of the cards. Let's talk about maybe some synergies that are within the deck, and then we're just going to get into some games. So looks like CaptainCrazy has put in 4 Ether Spell Bombs, 1-mana artifact, really great. We do have the ability to pay a blue to return a creature to their owner's hand, whether or not that's maybe one of their creatures and we're going to keep them off tempo. Maybe that's going to be one of our creatures. Maybe we try to save a Psy Master Thopterus when they try to kill it. That way we can utilize it on the following turn. Or even be able to draw multiple cards multiple times with Thought Monitor, because Thought Monitor, I'm just going to go ahead and hit on this now since we're here. 7-mana artifact, but it does have affinity for artifacts. So it's going to get cheaper with the number of artifacts that we have, the more artifacts we have in play. It's a flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. So very quickly, we can get this down to just 1 blue mana for a 2/2 that lets us draw 2 cards. And then being able to potentially bounce it with either Spell Bomb and then draw even more cards. Really good synergy there. Also playing Hard Evidence. This is a really cool card, again, introduced with the Modern Horizons stuff that was put on Arena. So Hard Evidence, it's a 1 blue sorcery, puts a 0/3 crab into play, and then investigates. So it is going to put an artifact into play with the clue that it does put into play, but it's also going to put in a 0/3 blocker for 1 mana. So this is going to help defend against like elves or zombies or goblins, quick burn aggro decks. So great card, great mana value, 1 mana for essentially the ability to draw a card later on, and a 0/3 blocker that could potentially block multiple turns. 4 copies of Chromatic Sphere. This is great for multiple reasons. It's a 1-mana artifact. It lets us draw a card whenever we sacrifice it to add 1 mana of any color. That's going to be super important because, again, we're playing a colorless shell, but we do have blue cards in our deck. With a lot of our lands don't necessarily make blue mana naturally. So this does give us access to blue mana and give us a benefit by doing that, by having that draw card. 4 Fountain Renewals. This is a 1 mana artifact. It's going to gain us life every turn. And then if we need to, we could pay 3 mana later on and sacrifice it to draw a card. 4 copies of Mind Stone. I can't really speak on this card enough. Super great. You know, going to ramp us. It lets us draw a card later on. 4 copies of Treasure Map. Now, this card looks really sweet in this deck. So Treasure Map is an artifact, which is what we want anyway. But we get to scry multiple times with this. Every turn we scry, we put a counter on it. Once this gets 3 counters on it, we actually get to transform it and put 3 treasures into play. And those 3 treasures are artifacts. So that's going to be 3 more additional potential creatures to kill our opponent with. We all know Psy, but I'll go over it again. 3 copies of this. Whenever we cast an artifact spell, we get a 1/1 colorless Thopter into play. And then we could sacrifice 2 artifacts to draw cards. So we're going to be playing a bunch of artifacts. We're going to be generating more artifacts. We could be sacking these Thopters to draw cards. Or if we cast enough artifacts, we can just overrun with a bunch of 1/1 flyers. Mystic Forge, great card. Typically played in a combo type colorless shell with like, what is it, Paragon Engine, where you get to untap it every time you cast a spell. But this is going to let us look at the top card of our library forever. And then we can cast artifact spells and colorless spells from the top of our library. And then if we need to, we can pay 1 life, tap it, and then exile the top card. If maybe it's a land, we don't want to be seeing land on top of our library. We want to be casting spells. And last but not least, 3 copies of Forsaken Monument. This is a super powerful. This is probably one of the most powerful colorless cards. This is going to give all of our colorless creatures +2/+2. So all of our Thopters that we're making with Psy, all of our artifacts that we're turning into creatures with Rise and Shine. Whenever we tap a permanent for colorless mana, we get an additional colorless mana. So it's kind of like a little mini mana flare for all of our colorless land. And then anytime we cast a colorless spell, we're going to gain 2 life. So again, super, super, super powerful. And we have, looks to be 23 land in the deck. There are a couple lands I want to go over. We have 4 Zhalfirin Voids to scry. We have 4 copies of Treasure Vault. These are great because these are artifacts. So this taps for mana and reduces the cost of Thought Monitor. Really great in combination with each other. Spire of Industry is going to give us that blue mana that we need in order to cast our blue spells as long as we have artifacts in play. But, you know, I don't really ever see us having an issue with having artifacts in play. 1 copy of Inventor's Fair to tutor an artifact that we might need. A couple copies of Blast Zone in order. It's like a fail-safe, you know, maybe we need to kill something. 4 copies of Ether Hub. Again, this generates blue mana for us at least 1 time, and it doesn't cause us any pain. It's still really good. And Ipnu Rivulet taps for colorless, taps for blue if we pay a life. It does let us mill, but I don't think we're ever going to be doing that. There's really nothing in here that's going to really want us to be milling. But notable, all of our lands actually do tap for colorless, and that is important because Forsaken Monument does, you know, make all of these, you know, basically 2 mana every time we tap a land. So that is Rise and Shine. Again, a huge, huge, huge thank you to CaptainCrazy for this submission. You are the first one to have a deck on in Decktember. Really excited for you. Now, also, if you haven't noticed, we're in the spirit of Decktember. We've got this light up Santa hat, fun little thing that I got for this specifically. Hope you all enjoy it. But more importantly, I hope you all enjoy the theme of Decktember and everything that's going on. And if you enjoy the channel, Decktember itself, the video, anything, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all of the links down below. One of those being the link to the Discord. And again, there's still time for you to join and get your Decktember submission in because we do select them randomly. So please, please do that. Again, please join. So let's just hop into the games. Remember, we're going to play a few games. We're going to play 3 games with this deck. We're going to talk about it. We're going to make we're going to make some changes. We're going to play 3 more games, and then we're going to head to the wrap up. So let's hop into the first 3 games with this deck, and we'll see you soon. All right, we've switched hats. We've got the Christmas, the tree beanie on now for our Decktember series. I'm excited. First official game. Let's rise and shine. We're going second. This is a decent hand. Not the greatest of hands, but we're gonna gain some life. We're gonna cast some artifacts. And let's take a scry. Seems pretty good. Gladly keep that on top. Next turn we can go for a Psy. This will probably get targeted. Ooh, Grim Tutor. I'm predicting a Chromatic Lantern next turn. Alright, so we only have 2 artifacts. This costs 5. Alright. Psy. What are you gonna do? Probably get murdered. Probably get murdered. Alright, so I think don't need the crab just yet. And Thought Monitor next turn. Okay. We could draw a card. I think we do draw actually here. Oh. I think, oh man. All right, we'll get rid of Psy. Oh. Well played. All right, now we just go scrying, right? We're going to get a whole bunch of treasures. I don't really know what our opponent's going to do. I wonder what they went for. Don't want another treasure map. I will take a land, right? This gives us another blue source. Evolve. Get rid of this crab. We don't need that crab. So, all right, Grim Tutor. This is probably going to be for like a Davriel or maybe another Torment of Scarabs. Not really sure. Lantern. Yeah. We're gaining a little bit of life, so I'm not really super worried about it. I think Turgid would have been a little bit better. I mean, we're just gonna kill them. Life. Go ahead and draw. So they're at 12. And we're gonna make these 3 4/4s, and they're tapped out, so oh, I've done something incorrectly. Oh, Control Z, Control something incorrectly. Oh, you got to get used to moving phases, right? All right. Got him. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. This was a good first game. All right, let's keep it going. All right, whether it's Decktember or not Decktember, whether or not we're wearing this Christmas tree beanie or not, game 2, we got to hydrate. let's go. All right, let's go. Sir Fraggle to go first. It's pretty good. Pretty happy with this. It's a very keepable hand. Or Fraggle. Are you playing mono black? Black white? Okay. I had a feeling it was either or. I do like this. Us drawing a land here would be insane. And I guess not insane, but help us immensely. So now we can't even... This just has to get right. We just start getting so much value off of this. Yeah. I think it's this. I think it's force removal. Right? I'm sure they have 3 mana removal. If not, they probably have 4 mana removal that just does the same. Right? Because worst case scenario, we just get some 1/1s that can't do anything this turn. Seems fine. So, this is essentially free. And this will refill us. Inventor's Fair is pretty good. Okay. You're gonna get rid of our Ether Spell Bomb? Because that's fine. Or a token.
Not on my watch.
Seems okay. All right, well, we're gonna get in. Probably gonna get Wrathed here. I would assume this has to be a Wrath, right? We're presenting lethal. We have exactly 12. They have to kill a token.
I faced undead horrors. This I'll be taking.
That's pretty good news. Okay. Still pretty good news. So, this taps for 2. All right, we're not going to be doing any additional attacking. Let's go ahead. Do our attacks here.
I'll be back. Just you wait.
Go ahead and make some Thopters, and we're going to save the blue mana to sack, right? Because they're probably just trying to get us to commit to the board. Oh, really? Am I supposed to say good game so you can wrath me? No. Oh. We got him. Very surprised there that we did not get board swept at all. So, all right, good game. Good game. All right, so we're heading into the 3rd and final game. Technically, this is the 4th game, but we just queued into a draw. And again, since Wizards can't fix their stuff, I mean, not going to worry about it. Let's see what happens here, and then we will possibly make some interesting changes to this. So, what are we going to do? We have a lot of different options. We're definitely keeping. And I think just in case, we make ourselves a crab. Opponent might think we're on a mill plan because we showed them island. Right into a chromatic sphere. No attacks. So blue. What kind of blue are they playing? Are they playing mill? They playing mill. I think. I mean, these are essentially free. Seems pretty good. Get in. Boom. Let's get them to tap out. I don't want to just walk into a counterspell. This is a pretty good card. Don't want that. All right, let's attack. I don't think they'll counter a treasure map, but you never know. I'd rather treasure map get countered than Forsaken Monument. Pretty good. Some math here. 1, 2, 5, 6. If we bounce this, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 in play. Enough. End turn. Still convinced that that is a counterspell that was foretold. I think maybe I do want Forsaken Monument countered. Okay. We may or may not have seen that coming, quite literally. So their deck, they're just playing a million counter spells. How fun and interactive. No blocks. Wow, that resolved. Okay. That's an Alrund's Epiphany. Interesting. I don't know. Okay. So they could have a Swan Song, maybe? Does Swan Song counter artifacts, sorceries? I think it's just sorceries, instants, and enchantments, right? I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm going to bounce. Seems pretty good. Oh, attacks. So we're set up pretty strong next turn, right? Archaeomagus. How are you doing over there, friend? Past the blocker. Block in. All right, well, we're going to get a... We're gonna get Thopters regardless of what we... All right, your creatures cost 2 less. All right, that might be another counter. I mean, does this resolve? Gotta go for it. Well, there's the card we want next turn. I mean, if this resolves... Do we think opponent has... Oh, that's fine. Counter this. Sure. They cleaved us. We are gaining all the life. We're at 7 now. No attacks. Been pretty lenient with our life total. Okay. Go to 1. As long as they don't have like a pump spell. Please cast anything. I'm going to give them the good game. They don't realize it's coming. All right, let's go. Enjoy all of these creatures. Wow, -20. So much damage. Well, this deck's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I've already identified some changes, some cards I don't like. So let's talk about them and talk about our changes. Be right back. All right, so let's start talking about this deck. Firstly, I am very impressed with it. Again, it does have that colorless shell. We are trying to ramp, so we are trying to put as many artifacts into play as once, or not at once, but as many as we can as quickly as possible. So usually with shells that revolve around ramping and whatnot, you are going to have some pretty good success. So I do want to start off by saying this is a very powerful colorless shell, and happy to see it, and very, very explosive with the rise and shine, you know, combo, so to speak. So I do want to start off by saying I am probably about to ruin this deck. So you never know. We're going to go and we're going to make some changes. Hopefully for the better. Not really too sure. I have a bunch of different ideas in my head, and I really don't know what version I'm going to settle on. But let me throw some of the ideas that I have at you, and then you can tell me what you think. Before obviously you watch the next segment. But so let's talk about it. So cards I'm considering before going in and doing a rebuild. I'm considering Emery, because Emery can mill artifacts. We're going to be recasting artifacts. Definitely a possibility there. I'm also considering Mox Amber for the extra mana for free. It does multiple things. It provides us that extra mana for 0. It triggers off of Psy. It's recastable off of the Emery. I'm also considering the 1 mana. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it right now. It's like Wishing Well or something like that, or Witching Well maybe. 1 blue artifact allows us to scry when it comes into play. It allows us to, so that lets us set up turns. It allows us to draw cards for 4 mana. So cards like that, I'm definitely considering. Obviously, I want to go through and look at as many different artifacts as we can. I definitely understand why some of the cards are in here and why some of the synergies are in here. Hard evidence is good because it does allow you, it does give you an artifact clue token, but also it gives you that 0/3 in case you're playing against a aggressive deck, where you're having to block creatures very quickly. Ether Spellbomb, again, is great synergy with Thought Monitor. It's also good against those aggro decks, so we can bounce their creatures when they're dropping them. We can put them off tempo. Chromatic Sphere obviously lets us draw cards. It lets us put cards into our hand. Like I said, it lets us draw cards. It fixes our blue mana so we don't take damage. So again, there's a lot of great synergy in this deck, but I'm going to have to go through. I'm going to have to look at everything and just try to figure out a build. And I feel like this is one of those decks that can just go almost in any direction. And we're just going to have to see what we end up with. So let me do a little fast forwarding, a little bit of camera magic / trickery. I'll be right back with my version of this deck. All right, so let's talk about our version of Rise and Shine. This is going to be basically the same shell. However, I feel like we just took out some cards that were a little bit overkill. We took out the ability to grow all of our creatures with the Forsaken Monument. I didn't really think we actually needed access to all that mana. We took out I took out the Mystic Forges. Again, I feel like if we got to that point in the game, we were probably going to win anyway, or we were probably just going to lose. It's just kind of a card that I don't feel like you should build around unless you're trying to do some crazy combo shenanigans with it. Found a Renewal, obviously, that's for the same reason. And then we actually are going to try to not play with Hard Evidence because, yes, it does generate an artifact. I want more artifacts to be played because we are playing Emery. So I did decide to throw in 4 copies of Mox Amber and 4 copies of Guardian Idol because we are just going to focus on all of the mana generation in this sense as opposed to actually going for that big 5 mana payoff. Also put in the 4th copy of Thought Monitor. That way we can draw extra cards that way. And then I also decided to add 3 copies of the Antiquities War. This does multiple things. This puts your opponent on a clock. This is a card they have to deal with immediately, but it also allows you to look at the top 5 twice and play 2 different artifacts. So it is going to help us kind of tutor or search artifacts into play. Not so much tutor, but it kind of lets us weird little mini tutor there. And then last but not least, I did take out the Blast Zones. I didn't really think they fit in our deck that well. So I did replace those with Blink Moth Nexus. This gives us an additional artifact to turn into a 5/5 thanks to Antiquities War. So yeah, that is going to be... Oh, and then one other hidden card I do want to hit on. And that is going to be this little gem, Castle Dracula. Now, I know this on the surface, this doesn't really look like much. However, with all the amounts of games, if we play thousands and thousands of games, there's going to be less than a 0% chance that this will come into effect at some point. It does have the ability to either tap for colorless or For 5 mana and tap it, create a blood token. Blood token is an artifact. It does actually allow us to discard a card, sacrifice, and draw a card. So it does kind of help us get out of some stalemates. Again, it's just a one of. We're gonna try it out. Another card that I'm kind of happy to be trying out because it is in Crimson Vow. So that is going to be Rise and Shine version 2. So may have butchered it. I'm not sure if if we were wanting to stay in a purely Rise and Shine build where our opponent doesn't expect it coming. So CaptainCrazy, I do apologize if this is this Antiquities War is not something you were going for. However, I did feel like it did feel in the flavor of the Rise and Shine killing with artifact creatures. So that's what we're going for. And this is the build that we're going to decide on. So we're going to go play some games and let's see how we do. You too. All right, well, let's get to Rising and Shining again. We've officially made our changes, and let's see if our changes are good, worse, as good as. Completely off key, so let's see. I think we keep this hand. We have some pretty good hits here, right? Because we get to turn 2 Guardian Idol, turn 3 Antiquities War, and then we might just be able to win off of the back of that. So we already have 3 artifacts. So ooh, look at you. So we're gonna go ahead and play this. Honestly, I kind of just hope we hit a Mox. We hit a Mox. Red deck might not be able to deal with an Antiquities War, to be 100% honest with you. Oh, well. That's interesting. Sure. That's actually probably the... Ooh. I mean, we just take Treasure Vault because that is an artifact. Ether Spellbomb comes down. And I think we're going to... Oh. I think we hold, and I think we try to win here. I did not expect an opportunistic dragon. I can tell you all that much. So I do want to do this in our time, right? Dragon Egg has Defender. They have no legendary, so Mox Hammer doesn't tap for anything. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go into full control. You're going to draw. They kill this, we just get back our friend. Two blockers, they still take 20. Good game. So, perfect example of us just giving our opponent a clock and them having to deal with it. So 6 artifacts, 2 blockers, able to completely shut them down. Not necessarily shut them down, but we were able to completely overrun them with our artifacts. Again, did not expect the opportunistic dragon, and we could have bounced. If you look at their board here, at the end of their turn, we could have sacked our chromatic sphere to make a blue, and then sack the either spell bomb to bounce the opportunistic dragon to get back the Mox Amber. But we lose 2 artifacts there just to gain 1 back, but they do lose a blocker, so it really works out the same because we're still going to be attacking for 5, and they're only going to have 1 blocker at that point. So math really works out the same. They still take 20 if they block. All right, on to game number 2. But yeah, that really just shows you the power of a turn 3 Antiquities War, to be 100% honest with you. So I'm happy. I mean, this could not be turning out any better right now. Silent Bob. What you got for us, Silent Bob? Interesting, okay. So I think we started off with an Ether Spell Bomb. Mindstone Chromatic Sphere next turn. So I guess maybe we just Guardian Idol. You have to be careful because they can definitely out. So let's see, what's better here? If we play this into Chromatic Sphere, we'll have 3 artifacts. I mean, I think it doesn't really matter, to be 100% honest. All right, so. Okay. Might be comboing us here. 2 mana, can't cast it yet, but next turn. They try to do any kind of funny business, and we're bouncing it. We're bouncing something. All right, so we're taking 4. Really? So their plan to untap that is to do that. Interesting. Right, all right. Don't hate this, right? Don't hate this at all. But again, I want to keep our options open. I don't want to just commit another, and I might be double blocking this paladin. They should have attacked first. Oh, they're not going to attack. So what are they doing over there? Put Antiquities War here, but Castle Dracula. Oh, you gonna scoop some goops, Silent Bob? Why? Why? So I do wonder if they were on the life gain combo where you, what is it like? There's a card that says tap a creature to make a 1/1, and then when you gain life, you get to untap it. So they might have been on that plan. They also could have been on Infinite Squirrels. There's a lot of things that could have been doing. I'm just gonna add a bad draw. So, all right, well, on to the next game. All right, well, heading into game 3. Pretty happy with this deck, to be 100% honest with you. I mean, we've only had 2 super fast games, but I still like that we have additional win conditions. I think we do ramp a little bit better. Right, so what are we doing? I think we're keeping is what we're doing. Opponent is playing some weird mono white, white black life gain. Okay. White black life. All right, so another Soul Warden, so I am going to put down as much stuff as possible. Enjoy your life. We get a Mox next turn. It's pretty good. That's really good. We might be dead. Might be dead pretty soon. So we have a thought monitor. Let me go ahead and scry here. Definitely want this Mox. Free. Fun. Down for 2. Yep. And we will go. Oh yeah, this is a lot. All right, so what do we want to do here? So we could thought monitor. I think what we do here is sack. No, I think that's right. Let's go back. Let's go back. Under your control. Definitely take 1 here. And how much mana do we have? We have 1, we have 5. Antiquities War. You have to use blue mana though. So I think maybe another Mox. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Gotta start getting in here, right? And then what we do is when they play a creature here in response, we're going to bounce this Blight Priest. Let them gain their life. 4. She holds them off for a bit, which is really good. And I think these are all the best. So we need to generate as many artifacts as possible. Be careful not to accidentally die next turn. Interesting. And trying not to die. Very tricky. Trying not to die. Okay. Oh, that might have been wrong, but I think it was right. So. Gotta get in damage. Gotta get in damage. Next turn. So we take 4 here. This is going to be really close. This is going to be really close. Right, upkeep, nothing. All right, let's go. All right, let's do it to it. I mean, math is for blockers, right? Math is for blockers. How would you block the 1/4? Let's have lifelink in some form or fashion. Still think you take like 1,000,000 here, right? Uh-huh. Still think you're dead. Got him. Boom. Whew. That was intense. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was a super fun game. I am super happy that we got to it. Again, we didn't actually rise and shine that game. We didn't rise and shine any of our games. We actually just had Antiquities War. But it does show you the power of just being able to do that. Especially, you know what? We're just gonna. I'm gonna stop. We're gonna head over to the wrap up, and I'm gonna talk about what I was about to talk about. So, see you guys in just a short second. Gotta switch my hat. All right, everybody, welcome to the wrap up, and we had a great time with Rise and Shine. This was a cool deck, really cool idea. So thank you, CaptainCrazy, for submitting this deck for Decktember. And again, let's highlight a few things. So the original build of this deck, what we're looking at here, was great, and we went 3-0 with it. We had a lot of great artifact synergies. Sai makes Thopters. Thopters get bigger with Forsaken Monument. We draw a bunch of cards. We send a lot of artifact creatures across the board with Rise and Shine. I mean, we're doing a lot of great things with this deck. And there are a couple different ways you can win with this deck. You can get over there with flyers, whether it's a couple of 2/2 Thought Monitors. Maybe they can't deal with those. And then we could overwhelm our opponent with Sai Master Thopterist with those Thopter tokens that it's generating. And then, or we can just cast a overloaded Rise and Shine, or maybe we cast a couple of individual Rise and Shines on some artifacts and just get in with some 4/4s. Maybe that's an option as well. So a lot of great synergies here. We went over all the synergies during the introduction, and not really going to hit on those. But let's go ahead and take a look at the deck that we did switch this to, Rise and Shine version 2. So again, a very different build. Now, we decided to also include Mox Amber and Emery in our deck and the Antiquities War. Now, I know we didn't necessarily stick to the Rise and Shine theme of the deck of just getting in there, basically surprise and then just get in with a bunch of 4/4s. However, I believe that we were able to add in a couple of different win conditions. Now, with the Antiquities War, we're getting to search. We are getting to search twice, basically, with chapters 1 and chapters 2. And then chapter 3, we are turning all of our artifacts into 5/5s. So, you know, we did leave Sai in the deck because we decided to add the Antiquities War. When I was originally building, you know, version 2 of Rise and Shine, I almost cut Sai because I didn't think the synergies were that great. With Forsaken Monument, yes, you know, they do, the 1/1s do turn into 3/3s, but at the same time, when we get to look at Antiquities War, and Antiquities War turns all artifacts into 5/5s. So it doesn't just hit the non-creature artifacts like the Rise and Shine does. So it does give us a little bit of extra, you know, oomph. It just gives us a little bit of extra. It gives us basically 3 extra cards to kill our opponent with, and it's going to give us the ability to search. It's just, I think it does add to this deck a great deal. The Mox Ambers go really great with Sai. You know, we don't even necessarily need to do anything crazy with mana generation with them. They're just good as a 0-drop, and we might get 1 extra mana off of it, but then at the same time, we're also getting that Thopter. And for the same reason with Emery. Emery's great in our deck because we can bring back Mox Amber. We can kind of chain them together, you know. We can have 2 in 1 turn. We can bounce Ether Spell Bombs with Emery. We can, you know, because we can sack it to draw a card, or we can sack it to bounce a creature and then recast it with Emery. We can draw cards with Chromatic Sphere and then recast with Emery. Same goes for Mind Stone. And then if they happen to kill our Thought Monitors, again, a lot of great synergies with Emery. And I do feel like if you're playing an artifact shell that does include blue, it is very important to do that because it also just puts a threat on the board that they have to deal with immediately. So that was my, again, my decisions there. And I really think that Antiquities War goes great with Sai. Again, making a bunch of just go wide 1/1s, then all of a sudden they're 5/5s in your opponent. So did get to feature some cool games. Got to win, you know, the first round of games with the original Rise and Shine deck. Again, we'll take a look at it here. This was strictly just winning with on the back of Rise and Shine. And then in our games, we actually didn't get to cast Rise and Shine for the win. We just got over with the Antiquities War with a bunch of 5/5. So again, kind of the same thing, but kind of not. But we just basically slam down Antiquities War and just put a clock on our opponents and say, you know what, deal with this or the game's going to be over. So yeah, this is Rise and Shine and Rise and Shine version 2. Here are both the decks. And remember, this is deck number 1 in Decktember, and we have many, many more to go. How many? I'm not sure. And we're just going to play as many as we have time to record. And again, just to cover it one more time, if you're not familiar with Decktember, I'm playing only viewer-submitted decks. This deck was, again, submitted by our friend CaptainCrazy in Discord. That way, you know, you can check out all the other Decktember submissions in the Decktember channel. There's also a link to a spreadsheet where I'm keeping track of everything, so you can take a look at it there. But other than that, you know, please, there's still time. Go get your deck submitted. All you have to do, be a member of the Discord. So join that Discord, link down below, and you just have to be subscribed to the channel. So, you know, that's it. Not a lot of steps, and your deck could be randomly chosen to be highlighted and featured as a deck. So again, if you enjoyed the channel, the video, anything, Decktember as a whole, the series, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all those cool links down below. Join the Discord again to be a part of Decktember. And hopefully we'll see you pretty soon and we'll feature your deck. With that being said, everybody, please, please, please stay safe. Stay awesome. Merry Decktember. We'll see you next time.